I saw some stuff on the way to work early on Monday morning. We were following the stories about the N3 protests on Friday, but I don't think many of us followed it seriously throughout the weekend. Everyone at East Coast Radio just got into it immediately. We're all set up to broadcast from home because of Corona. And Sky did the same thing and had to turn around and broadcast from home on the Tuesday. And we kept that as the status quo. So I think as a station, we very much gave a sense of the day to anyone listening in. So not tapping into any of the fake news, no hyperbole, and certainly no opinion was presented. Just the facts. This is happening. This is here now. This is an area to stay away from. These are some of the things that you should be doing right now.
We had a state of readiness, and we were broadcasting from the studio, but we changed on the day in anticipation of the rioting. So we had our mics, we had everything at home, and we had people on the ground feeding our news desk, and people needed to know which routes to take, which routes to avoid, what is happening where, is my area affected? So I even, when I posted, because I was also stopped on my way to work. So it was a very hands-on experience. I was there, I took pictures, I went live. So I was then giving the updates and people were then sharing from my Facebook page. So I think the covering itself was quite extensive. In terms of the contributors on the news, in terms of the user participation, in terms of us also delivering that content from the on-air perspective.
I was broadcasting from Johannesburg, and I could use the M1 and get to work to Auckland Park, but my team couldn't get to the Durban studios where Lotus and Ukosi broadcast from. So it was a combination of using resources, firstly our current affairs team, our news team, but the television guys as well, having SABC, we were able to also use that and plug in and have an idea of where things were unfolding, because the main thing was safety and security. As much as we looked at something unprecedented unfolding, we still had our listener who was now concerned on where could they go, are they safe at home, what's happening up the road, and what and how this was going to unfold. And at the same time, we're living in a world of misinformation. So you also got to be so careful in terms of what you say.
So I went on air, and the whole time people are relaying their different stories about what's going on. So you can imagine my fear and my panic is building up because I'm sitting here, I've got anxiety for days because I still have to go into that situation. And I still have to try and manage everyone else's feelings and calm them down and make them believe that it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Don't worry, calm down. But I'm not calm for a second.
Having to do my type of radio, which is a silly outlook and a crazy, funny, laugh a minute type, I wasn't able to do that because obviously what was happening, we were worried about your loved ones, you were worried about your own shops, you were worried about your own community, and when it was just too heavy. But then again, it's 3 hours and it needed to be done, and we needed to paint a picture and also give out warnings.
As for me, witnessing factories burning down, warehouses, malls, it was just a public violence all over. As on air, you remember that you are from the very same community, you are living with such people, those who are looting, those who are unemployed, those who are just saying, you guys are going to work while we are busy fighting for you. And it was very difficult.
For the first time in the longest time, and as one of the more senior ones here, I can remember many, many instances of unrest in our country, and there was always a glimmer of hope. And for a moment during this, and perhaps a little bit more enduring than I'm comfortable with, I'm pessimistic about this. And I'll tell you why I'm pessimistic, because time and time again, South Africans will show you that the man on the street and the CSIs and the corporations that want to help out the communities, you'll see massive fundraisers and initiatives like Gift of the Givers and even smaller ones that are gathering food, that want to get it out to the communities. We do that as the people. We constantly do that. We've done that over and over again. We're always cleaning up. I'm getting this overwhelming feeling that we're always cleaning up, that, people are asking us as the community, grassroots, you should have an entrepreneurial spirit, you should have a side hustle, you should go out and do this. Why aren't you doing more? And in this instance, I'm asking, no, leaders, for me personally, it's time to step up. What went wrong?
Now, at this current situation, we saw a lot of people come together. There's people who are genuinely hungry that went out looking for food when they were looting. There are obviously the criminal element where people are just looking to continue with their crime. People were bombing ATMs. Those people are used to that. You can't tell me that someone who woke up in the morning to go and loot knows how to bomb an ATM. Of course they don't. Then there's other people who are capitalizing on the fact that there's people stealing. So they say, now I'm also going to go out there and steal. Then there's obviously those who have internal problems where it's either racism or it's either self-hate issues, whatever the case may be, and they use that opportunity to fight that war, whatever that fight that they were fighting is. So it points out to the fact that we've got a lot of social ills that go unattended to by our government.
I'm very worried about the situation that we are living in right now as communities, because not only urban areas, even in our rural areas. I'm from a rural area in Kinyindlovu. They also had the very same problem that we had here in Durban, even though it's a rural area. But they said, okay, what is happening in Durban? We are here as young people. We are not working. We are under poverty. It's a village. It's a rural area, but we are not going to loot. And yes, we understand these are the social illnesses that we are facing. Instead of food parcels, I think government could do well by providing us and support for small businesses just to recover from all this and set up black people's value chain, because some other people are trying to have business ventures there and there, but they are not getting any support.
All right, just to lead from Darren, Jacinta, and Rosa, I think we need leaders not in love with money, but in love with justice. We need leaders not in love with publicity, but in love with humanity. And on the back of that, as much as the president acknowledged, what I think is a good thing, that they were behind the 8 ball, but I think Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, I felt him. He spoke from the heart and he moved me. He sounded genuinely concerned about people's safety and security. And I thought that was very powerful. But coming back to Ubuntu, I think what is important was, we live in complexes and sometimes we don't even know our neighbors. And from this adversity, I saw Black, Indian, white, colored embracing, whether they were putting up barricades or whatever they were doing, they were coming together to protect their homes and their families. And, South Africa has that knack, like a phoenix, to rise from the ashes, quite literally.
Let's do this again. Bye, guys.
Bye, love. Bye.